Man, oh man. All right. House husband, drizzle, soft guy era. All these things are coming to a head, coming to fruition. We're saying it's satire, right? But when Cheeky actually articulated, Mr. JTK was popping. He's saying it evens out the playing field. I think this, what's up, Orchid? I think this gets left out of when he articulates house husband. He's saying that the risk for the man as being a house husband is mitigated considerably, right? Because the complaint is that men lose in divorce, right? Roz, what's up? So if you're a house husband, she's the breadwinner. If divorce happens, which we know it's upwards of 80%, right, within the first 5 to 7 years, well, you're taking care of the kids, so by proxy, the kids should be allocated to you. You don't have the risk of alimony and child support because you aren't the one earning the money. It essentially evens out the playing field and lessens the risk for men. And if men are being logical, it logically makes sense. What do you think about that, Angry Snowman?
Well, I understand to a degree the argument that they're bringing to it as of today. You know what they're trying to get, the message that they're trying to get across, that they're hoping that these women receive from the whole drizzle thing. You know, there are going to be people that try and take this serious and actually actively put it into practice. You know what I'm saying, and do it for that reason. Like me, I've been a stay-at-home dad since before it was, a movement to be a stay-at-home dad. I've been doing this for like 7 years now. So it was, it wasn't cool when I started doing it. There was a lot of men that, actively pushed back on me. A lot of men and women, but it was just one of them things,
What things? We don't know.
I was in a position to where I'd hurt myself. That's the only reason why I ended up in this position. Okay. I'd hurt myself. I was working at a grand ductile iron foundry when I was about in my early 30s, and I ended up basically doing something I shouldn't have done. I knew better than to do it, trying to lift something heavy and doing it the improper way. And I ended up herniating both my L4 and L5 in my back. And when they first ruptured, dude, it took me down. And then because I wasn't able to get the proper care, because it was a workman's comp claim, and workman's comp always fights everything that you want to do to make yourself better, it just progressively got worse. Okay. So I ended up being a stay-at-home dad because my wife at the time, she was worried that we'd only had our son, Mikey, he was only about 2 years old. And she was worried that I was going to end up in a wheelchair and not even be able to go out and play like ball and stuff with him. That's what she was worried about, because it got to the point where I was like, every couple months I was in the hospital, and then the doctor was taking me off of work for a couple weeks to rehab my back. And then it was just an endless cycle like that over and over and over again. You know what I'm saying? Like, rather than you do that and end up paralyzed and not able to do anything because you have kids that are still kids. Why don't you let me chase, because she wants to be in corporate retail and she's been doing a damn good job working her way through to it. Why don't you stay at home and raise the boy? And I fought her, dude. I much rather, at that point in time, I wanted to be working. I would have much rather work and end up in a wheelchair, but it is what it is now. That's how I ended up where I am. It was hard for me to even accept it. I fought back, because of the stigma behind it.
Yeah. Okay. So why didn't you go work? Because you're back? Were you able to put your pride aside? What happened?
Well, that's what it was. I put my pride aside and started thinking about the fact that I did have younger kids, and they deserve to actually have a father that could actually get up and play and wrestle around and do the things that a dad should do. And the more I got to thinking about it, I was like, well, I can actually take this opportunity to actually be an active, like a legit active role in molding and creating, who my children are. They're, helping build their personality and, helping educate them and teach them things about life and this, that, and the third. Something I never got to do with their older brother and sister who are now adults. That's something that I've never gotten to do, and that's actually been a really, really, really interesting journey, specifically with my son who's now 9 years old. I've been actively, basically, I started homeschooling him when he was about 3. Now, granted, he's in public school now, but I started teaching him. By the time he got into public school, he was already like at a first grade level and stuff. Like I was telling you backstage, the boy, he's in 3rd grade now. He's in all those excelled learning programs at school.
Are you were you think you were better suited than that for than his mom?
Absolutely. I have more patience, to be
You have more
honest.
patience than her?
Yes, I do.
Hmm.
And that's something that I ended up acquiring over time, because when I was younger, I didn't have that kind of patience. I was, stubborn and expected people the older kids to understand and learn, quickly.
Hmm.
I didn't have the patience that I do now.
Okay. So you got seemingly forced into that position, right? You
Right.
accepted it, you took it on the chin. How do you actually feel about it? Do you wrestle with it to this day, or you come to grips with it after 10 years?
Well, it ain't been 10 years. It's been 7,
7 years, I mean.
but yeah, I'm good with it, because look, it's like this. And like I've told you, and many people have heard me say it before in all these spaces, I will never let somebody shame me or make me feel like I'm lesser than, because I'm an active father and an active role model in my children's lives. There's
But
nothing you can say to me or do to me to say that I'm, a piece of crap. It isn't like I'm one of them fathers that, decided he wanted to check out and just not have nothing to do with them. I'm actively involved in their
yeah,
daily routine, everything they do.
yeah. No, 100%. But when we talk about safety, if I'm playing devil's advocate, you sending your wife out into this world, are you keeping her safe?
Absolutely.
How?
Well, first off, I've taught my wife how to separate work from home, and I know she's doing it because, you know, even when I go to work, her employees, they don't even know who I am for the most part. They don't know anything about her home life.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I
Mm-hmm.
mean, they know who I am. They know she's married. They know that, but they don't know me. You know what I'm saying? They know, they all know I have a podcast. The wife separates all of her professional life from her personal life, and she has to, because
But the streets are mean, though.
well,
You.
especially with her trying to be in corporate retail, because corporate retail is an entirely different animal than just regular retail.
Mm-hmm.
And she has to, something from her personal life, or even my part, something I do because I'm her husband, it could negatively affect what she's doing to try and move up the ranks, where she's working.
No, but I'm talking about safety.
Well, a lot of it is me teaching her how to basically separate, home life from work life.
What I'm saying is, you sending her out into this earth.
Well, for the
Wow.
most part, the only thing she does is go to work. She doesn't.
Well,
That's the only thing she does is go back and forth to work. For the
I
most,
know, but the argument would be that you sending her out into this earth while you sitting cozy at home. Men would say that you're not keeping her
cozy
safe.
at
What you
home.
thinking about that?
What's cozy about sitting at home dealing with, the daily routine of taking care of kids that want to drive you nuts and need all, pretty much all your attention, and then on top of that, having to do all the normal shit that a man would do even when he got home from work. There's nothing cozy about that, for one. But
Mhm.
secondly, if my wife needed something, all she had to do is call me. She's literally only 15 minutes away from me.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I 15-minute phone call, 15 minutes, I'm there. Chances are I'm there quicker because she says it's an emergency.
Okay.
You
What
know,
happens in this? Well, let me get JP in. I just wonder because that was one of the arguments that were made. Like when a man can be the breadwinner, right? Going out into this earth, the streets are mean. And she's being subjected to that while you aren't. Have you heard that argument previously?
like that's you, JP.
No, no, angry snowman.
Oh man, you're gonna have to tell me that again because really thought you was talking to JP.
Okay. No, just in terms of her having to go out. You know, she's doing. Would you does she help with the kids when she gets home?
Oh, absolutely. As soon as she comes home, man, she'll she spends time with them, and kind of takes over actively, you know what I'm saying, as the parent at home. And that's just because she doesn't get to spend near as much time with them. So she, as a mom, there's still that innate, in thing inside of her of wanting to, be nurturing and caring and, just sit and cuddle and, love up to her kids. So because she doesn't get to do that all day long, that's something that she, actually craves and takes advantage of when she is at home.
Okay. So is she doing the heavy lifting?
What heavy lifting? What do you mean?
Well, she goes to work, and then when she gets home, she's doing with the kids.
No, dude. The only thing she has to do when she comes home, honestly, she does the laundry and she helps out with the kids. And as far as the kids, there is no real heavy lifting. I mean,
Okay.
we've always pretty much split, regardless of who was working and whatnot. We've always split like the actual work part of raising kids, the diapers and feeding and all that shit. We've always split that, right down the middle. Whoever's available to do it just goes ahead and does it.
Mm.
They're kids. I mean, they need to be taken care of. But as far as anything else, she really doesn't have to do much around the house.
Who does
You
the
know?
cleaning?
Well, me and her both do it, but I do the majority of it.
Okay.
I mean, she's a woman, so she's still going to come home and she's going to, spot clean and do her OCD shit that I don't have.
Okay.
Granted, I keep a clean house, but I'm not OCD about it. She is.
Does she do the cooking?
No, she
Okay.
can't cook.
Okay.
I don't like the way she cooks. Nobody,
Wow.
dude.
Okay.
You remember what was it? Tool Time, and how Jill Taylor nobody ever liked when she cooked
Yes.
because she always made those casseroles. So Tim and all the boys, every time she made a casserole, they was like, "Oh God, Mom cooked again."
Fake.
Yeah, that's my wife. She can't cook.
Okay.
She
Okay.
doesn't know what salt is or pepper.
Before we get into some of those other things that men say they want with Angry Snowman, Aaron, did you have any other questions for him?
You're
Muted.
muted.
You're on mute.
Not yet. I'm going to continue to listen. Questions are brewing.
Okay. Get the likes up. Get the likes up. Get the likes up. JP, your dynamic is a little bit different, right?
Yep.
But the reason why you may qualify as a house husband, and this is public information, right? You
Right.
have assistance that comes outside of you from different social programs, right?
Occasionally.
Well, like the stamps, the things that you've said, right? Like you go to the
No
store,
food
so
stamp.
food stamp. I remember you said you were qualified for the new two bedroom apartment.
Well, the new 2 bedroom apartment's I'm gonna have to come out of my pocket.
Okay.
But they got something called scatter sites, and scatter sites is like you get to live
Subsidized.
there next to nothing. It's almost like Section 8, but Section 8 you could take it other places after a year,
You
where I have to be
specifically this
there
place.
the whole time.
Yeah, and so it's subsidized, right? For all intents and purposes,
Yeah.
like the cost is subsidized. Okay, so one could argue that you're the house husband because the working wife is the government.
Yeah,
What do you think?
I would say I've been working ever since I was 16. I'm 38, so I've been working since 22 years.
Mhm.
I could say over 22 years, I put money into receiving my benefits.
Wait, time out.
I feel like this is old.
Wait. You said you paid enough in, so now you should get to take it out.
I should be able to. I bought it. I paid into it for 22 years. Now I'm in a position where I'm raising my kids because outside of me, my kids ain't gonna have nobody.
Okay.
So, hey, I don't have to take the Section 8. Now, keep in mind, like Angry Man, I've been raising my daughter ever since I've been doing this for about 7 years now.
Mhm.
But before I got with my daughter and stuff, realized I had a kid, I was out there in the streets, just doing me. And the day I found out that I had a kid, I changed my whole life completely. Gave up the little work I had to my homeboys, and I said, man, hey, I can't do this shit no more. Take these risks. I got a little baby, boy. I got a baby.
Shit like that.
Okay.
And so I ended up moving out of town. But 27 years, primarily, I wasn't getting nothing.
Okay. So, wait a minute. So, JP, you say you deserve this lifestyle? You earned this lifestyle?
Absolutely. Yes, I paid into it. I've been paying into it ever since I've been working. All them checks that I was getting FICA would take out money out my check, and they would take a lot of money out my check paying into this system. So now, when time that I need it, I ain't finna feel embarrassed to get it.
Damn.
Don't give me this. What I call what's that retribution? What's them shit that them niggas talking about they want from the white reparation? These are my reparations.
JP, are you trolling me right now?
I'm dead
I
but
don't know if
serious.
you're trolling me right now.
I'm dead but serious. Finna put my baby mama's number on child support and everything.
God damn, are you saying that you earned this?
I earned the right to be able to be the angry baby daddy, the angry baby mama. You know, I get to put my baby mamas on child support, watch them get all upset and shit. This feels beautiful to me.
Is this Jay Prince presidential Social Security reform? Is what you're saying? So sounds like you've taken Social Security. Wow.
Yeah. So you're
Fantastic.
getting this is JP Social Security program that you get to take out of the system after 20 years of working. Now, what
22.
about me? What about me, JP? We the same age. I've been working. I've been working for a long time. Also, why don't I get these benefits?
Because if you get in a position where you have to raise your children by yourself, a lot of times, well, I ain't gonna be on the loan, of course, because my food truck and my hot dog cart finna take off. But in the meantime, I'm finna take a year back to, this. I consider this like a pit stop. I'm gonna take advantage of it. It's not gonna be something where I'm gonna be like living on it for the rest of my life and stuff like that. It's just something like a little pit stop to the point where I'll be able to get my hot dog cart is already off the ground, but it was a little pause for a few months, and now my food truck. So I'm finna take advantage of this and try to take off, But this is like a little year pit stop. I don't think nothing wrong with that. I've been paying into it for 22 years. They never gave me my money back. So a year out of 22 years, get to sit down, relax a little bit, regroup, and also finish my project, my goals. Heck yeah, I think I ain't never had an opportunity where I could live with my parents until I finished college or nothing like that. I've been on the streets ever since I was 16, 17.
Does your state offer unemployment compensation?
Yeah, they do.
Unemployment benefits?
I never still had a job long enough to get unemployment. I got unemployment twice out of my life. I never stood at a job long enough to receive unemployment.
Hold on. JP, if you never stayed at a job long enough to receive unemployment, how the hell are you touting 22 years of working to now recoup?
Because I would work at McDonald's for 2 months. They tell me what to do, and I ain't like it. Then I go to Burger King, and then they tell me what to do that I ain't like. Then I go. I actually went to school actually, and got some trades. I got a welding. I went to school for welding, MIG, TIG, wire and gas welding. I also went to school for auto mechanic. Then I went to school for culinary arts, and then I did that for a little while. And then I got like a security permit, armed guard, armed security. Then I did CNA. I was doing that for a while.
How old are you?
38.
Is your resume like 40 pages long with job experience?
Yeah, most jobs want to hire me, so I got to lie and talk to some people that I know own business. Like, hey, say that I've been working at your job for 2 years, motherfucker. You owe me.
JP, are you trolling me, JP?
No, that's what it is. I'm telling you the button that can chew for all the bumps on the booty. That's exactly what it is.
JP, you didn't. This doesn't sound like you put enough in to be taken out now.
Because I wasn't working at one job specifically, but I always had a job.
Okay, but did you ever qualify for unemployment?
Yeah, a lot of people have 1 or 2 jobs that they've been working at for 5, 10 years. I got a bunch of jobs, so even though I wasn't working at a job steady, I always kept a job, always.
Okay.
I had no choice.
Now the kids. Let me ask you, and I think I know the answer, but I want to dig a little deeper into it. Pause. If it weren't for all these assistance programs, would you still want to keep the kids?
Absolutely. I was doing it with no assistant programs for 7 years.
Okay.
This is the only year that I'll start getting a little bit of assistance.
Okay. 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 Why?
After they shut my hot dog cart down. That's when I started realizing I could get food share. Then they said I could put my baby mamas on child support. You know, shit. I want to piss them off anyway.
The pandemic didn't affect your food card any?
No, no. When that C19 happened, as a CNA worker, it didn't affect nothing. That was like 4 years ago. So I didn't even have the goals of my food truck to like 2021. But I was still able to do like home health care and stuff like that.
Mm.
You're an essential worker during the meat of
home health care is
Yeah.
essential. Yep.
Yeah.
100%.
Now, when I started doing CNA work, I started staying at jobs a little bit longer because I was getting paid a lot of money to do nothing.
You have a CNA?
Yeah, and and I'm also a medical technician.
So, JP, why do you think that you should be taking advantage of those, or are you just leveraging the opportunities that the government gives you?
I'm leveraging the opportunities that the government give me.
Do you think that that would put into question your level of manhood?
Absolutely not.
How come?
Because one, I think this manhood concept,
Mm-hmm.
you know how you put so much expectations on somebody to the point where they're afraid to be able to sit down. Like they try to make men to be like these unrealistic human beings. Like if I decide to sit down for the year, and on top of that year, it's not that I'm taking these government's assistance and say, okay, I'm gonna live on this for the rest of my life. Fuck it. No, I'm using this as an opportunity because I ain't never had nobody to like. A lot of these dudes that call men, they had family members to like front them that little boost or give them that little jump head start into life. I have never had that.
Okay.
When I was on the streets at 16, 17 years old, homeless, I didn't have completely nobody. And I had to find ways to get out the mud on my own, had to do all kinds of stuff. So to somebody give me a little jump start damn near at 38 years old for a whole little year or so, whatever, so I could finish off my food truck, then go back out there working, well, I'm finna do it. I put in money, I paid into it.
Okay, so you're saying this would be equivalent to someone who has, let's say they come from a upper middle class household, right? They graduate college. I know people that have stayed with their parents for 5-6 years, not paying rent or anything, and then that allows them to catapult themselves. You're saying, go ahead.
Yeah, exactly what you said. They mama is the government. They family members was the government. Only thing is no different from the government and your parents. If you still stay in your parents' house and they allowed you to stay there so you get yourself together, you can't talk about me.
You saying that's the exact same thing? I thought that was a parent's responsibility. What you think?
No. When you grown, especially if you're a man, right? Because I was always taught a man's supposed to be man at 17, 18 years old. So if you cannot sit up here and call yourself a man, if you had to live with your family and get all these and receive all of these benefits from your family and all this other type of stuff, but then you want to laugh at me because I'm 38 and depending on the government always been my parent. Let's make that very clear. The government always have been my parent since I was a child. The government took care of me, took care of us. The government raised us. So now that I'm 38 years old, now I want to fall back and go home like, hey, man, I'm going to live off y'all for a little bit for a year or two so I get my food truck up. There ain't nothing wrong with that.
I grew up on welfare too, though, JP. And I don't feel the same way about that whole situation. Not only that, I've never been in a position where they would actually give it to me. Even when I grew up, for some reason, even when I grew unemployment, I made.
Before we go back and forth, let me just mine this out a little bit. So, JP, what if someone made the argument, right? And I'm presenting the argument, so I want you to be able to respond and rebut to what things people may be saying or thinking, because we generally stay out the chat while we on the panel. You know, what would you say about the argument if one could argue that the kids are taking care of you?
I would agree, but disagree though.
Okay, break it down.
I would agree because now the kids is the cause, you know, all this other type of stuff of me getting these benefits. But again, this where I disagree at. Well, what about all that money that I done put in this? I'm not supposed to ask for that back. They not giving me that money back. So where all the money that I done put in this, right? I done put a lot of money into this. So I should be able to get a portion of it back, right? Do y'all complain about when the military people, after they retire for 20 years, after putting in service, I put in service. The same way military put in service, they get their retribution and all that shit back. I put in 22 years of service too.
Well,
are you likening you working at Mickey D's to serving in the military?
No, I had Mickey D's like my first job at CC.
Okay. But Mickey D's, Burger King, CNA. You were saying that is equivalent to a man serving 20 years in the U.S. military.
Yes, because you got to think all that work that you put in. Mm-hmm. When you work, right, and they take out money. They don't give you all your money back when you get your gross income don't go in your pocket.
No.
It does at the end of the year though.
Zero. I always used to file zero. It wasn't until somebody put me on game to just file as him, then you gonna get in trouble. But I'm just saying, like, I always file zero. So if my check, especially when I started doing CNA work, right, I used to work overtime hours. Then my check would gross like $2,500, but I would take home $2,000 every 2 weeks. $2,000 or like $2,000. That's $600 out my fucking check.
But it's taxes, JP.
It is, but these are the services that I have put in.
I know, but you know,
working a job, you work in a service, you putting in service, especially when you got they make me pay to work. So all that money that I've been putting in, the reason was niggas, we got this, especially black folks, and all this concept of man shit is just outlandish to me. Mm-hmm. You can't even fall on your one leg and still can't. You still expected to do stuff. No, I'm not gonna let y'all. I'm not gonna let them motherfuckers get me like that. I'm gonna take this damn retribution. I mean, for what they say.
So you saying that everybody? So you're saying that they took advantage of you by you paying taxes?
Yeah, and then a lot of these men stood with their family members. They had family members when they was young, strong, and active. They had people to help them out through the process. I would call that. I would say, well, y'all was more of a bitch than I was because, nigga, I had to get it out of my youth. I couldn't really. I had to do all kinds of stuff to be just at ground zero. They had their basic needs because they had parents, they had their family members, they had a mom, and a lot of these dudes, I found out, they had their fathers, uncles. They had all of these resources better than the government would give you. Y'all was doing better than the people that's on the government.
Damn, that is actually an interesting argument. Go ahead, Aaron. Go ahead, Aaron.
So you liken your practices to, I guess, military personnel that have stayed in for 20 years. How do you feel about the fact that their base pay was taxed, and after 20 years, the money that they get is called either retirement or disability percentage, which is usually the result of some kind of bodily or mental health, mental wellness injury that is irreparable.
I don't think, Aaron. I don't think you could pull that stuff on me. The same way that I'm fighting for these benefits It's the same way I got uncles them in the military. That disability check, nothing be wrong with them niggas. But they would go and claim they got a disability even when they do not have a disability.
Okay,
They would try to get
I think it's fair to say that almost anybody that's been in the
let's-
military can have a disability.
Yeah, they can far with the PTSD avenue, but PTSD is not gonna give you full 100%. Them
No,
niggas,
it's
my
not.
uncles, them, they used to try
Well,
to fight that
depends.
100%. They used to go. My uncles. He told them people that he was like barely can walk. So when they start like trying to, when he was fighting for it, the process got active. He started walking with his cane and wheelchair in public because he's like, man, these motherfuckers might be watching. So he
All
when he
right.
go outside,
So,
he pretend like this he can't even fucking walk.
all right. Well, that's only a small portion of what I'm saying, though. Like.
Want that 100% disability.
Well, hold on. Let's throw disability out the window. 20 years of service gets you 60% of your base pay as retirement. 30 years of service gets you 80% of your base pay in retirement. And for those 20 and 30 years, their base pay was taxed federally like we are taxed earned income.
Well, and they getting their money back. Now they can sit down. Don't get mad at me because I want to sit down. I'm only sitting down for a year or two. Y'all bitching. It's
So
not like I'm living off.
So you think so? You equate sitting at home and raising kids to sitting down?
I'm just asking questions. I'm not.
I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to Jay Prince because he's the one who said I've only been sitting down for a year. You know, I'm only going to be sitting down for maybe 2 years. So basically, what you're saying is, to you, sitting at home and raising your kids and doing what you're supposed to do to make them productive, citizens and teach them the right path is to you sit down and just. I mean, what does sitting down mean then? I mean, what are you doing?
Because I'm still gonna be active, like building myself up financially. What I'm saying is, okay, well, to that part, Angry Man. Damn, you look just like Angry Man too. Okay, now look, right. I've been sitting down technically for 7 years, but my
no, you're missing. Why do you call it sitting down?
No, my bad help. What I'm saying is like I do feel feminine by raising my kids. That it brings you that feminine vibe.
What are you talking about, dude? My kids are still scared to death of me.
No, but still, just being, especially you have to be at home raising little girls too. Men typically not at home raising the kids, but
you don't think that you can be masculine at home raising your daughters and show them masculinity and show them what a strong masculine man's supposed to be?
Because at some point, especially girls, they need a break from their dad because typically, I'm gonna always remain masculine and be more disciplined, right? And a lot of times, daddy's real father's not liked, right? Because we imply structure, discipline, and order.
Are you going to use the same kind of discipline you use with your work history?
Right, so basically, they feel like they in the military when they around me. So that sometimes, especially little girls, they gonna need that freedom from their father. Because we not gonna and we gonna be extra harder on our daughters than we will our sons in a way. Because we coming from a perspective of protecting them. So any little thing they do, hey, what, and then it's kind of hard for me to be like soft with them. And when people be telling me you got to just calm down, lighten up, fuck all that. You gonna do this, and this is how it's gonna go, point blank, period.
Dude,
and so
I don't have to yell at my daughters at all.
Well, yes, you will. You talking about when they do stuff around the house. I hate when people say that. You can just give your kids a look, they're gonna shape up. Yes, that's true. But that's only when
my adult kids a look and it's gonna shape up.
No, angry man, but when your kids is at school and they I ain't gonna talk like this around your boy.
You got everything done? All together? You got any homework from it? No. You ain't got to do any vocabulary words.
Like, share, subscribe, tell a friend, hit that like button right now. You can. That helps the channel the most. Let me read these real quick. Shadow Dragon, appreciate you, my G.
What up, buzzin', bird flippin' dozen. Holla at your boy, you thought your cousin wasn't?
CJ with the 2000s. What if something happened at home while you at work? Vet Life with the $5 says, salute Hemp, Aaron, Angry Snowman, JP. You look like a sucker. You ain't clean. Look like a goof troop in a suit.
Damn, that's rough business there, dude.
Salute the fatty, been a member for 7 months. We got a bunch of white flags. Mr. Fantastic with the $5 says, I'm a better father than you. Quote, coming from a pro burger flipping nursing home worker, lifetime bum ass nigga. You want to respond to this, JP?
No, he irrelevant.
Team Fatty with the 2 euros. Sorry, says American taxpayers, are you paying for his Airbnb? Bob with the $2 says, JP, you making good points with bad examples! Exclamation point.
Right.
Team Fatty with the 2 euros says, I pay more taxes than JP last year. John the Baptist. Excuse me. With the 20 ball says, JP dropping jewels. Can't wait for the link. The link is coming. Let me play this for the first 20 ball of the day. Salute. Judah with the $2 says, JP, stop the fabrication. Loser mentality. Exclamation point. Shaking my head. So man, JP was saying something to you, but Bay Boy walked into the room, so he stopped. JP, you remember what you were saying?
Yeah. So here it is. Like, okay, being at home with the kids. This is so when I was saying like being at home with your kids with your daughters, you get overbearing your daughters because being a father, you're gonna always be strict. You ain't no lighten up. So you got to keep in mind too. This just the only time when I'm starting getting benefits. This only been a couple of months. Now the 7 years, my daughter is either at home with me or she was at work with me. My kids will be at work. Like even on my hot dog cart, they on a hot dog cart with me because especially I done moved out the city where I'm originated from. So my family is back home. Was back home. Now my sister done moved with me, so it give my kids a little bit more break. They go by their auntie house with all the kids, their cousins and stuff like that. But before then, shit was a little rough on my kids. I'm gonna be a strict. I'm not gonna lighten up for nothing. So I don't. But here's the flip side of that, because y'all always say that life is like chess, right? And when you were saying that your woman is going out there making the bread, I thought the king always be posted. In every nature outside of human nature, the woman goes out there and do the hunting because the woman can get in more spaces than a man can. That's the same way. That's the reason why the queen can move all across the board, where the king can only move one spot. And that's the same way in life when it comes to men and women. People will allow women into spaces to possibly can make more money than a man can. Right. So if y'all saying life is like chess,
I don't know if that's necessarily 100% true. I mean, there might be some areas of professional America that women might be able to move into a little bit easier than men, but for the most part, they're still trying to
areas they can
world, and
most areas they can. When a woman, first of all, a woman would get shit. It depends on the type of job. Now, most of us not doing hard labor.
What are you talking about? Actually, dude, that's wrong too, because 60% of American males are the ones that do the hard labor that keep America running.
Right, but what I'm saying is now they got machines and stuff where women can operate. Women can get in certain places and get certain.
What's the point in women?
A man cannot. Just off her looks alone, a man. If you got to think of it from a business perspective, right? If a fine chick come to your establishment, she can do the same job as that man can, right? Because you got the machines to do it. I don't know about you. If I'm a boss, I want to see some go in there.
Am I missing?
Give me 3. I want to see some tits popping around, then some hard legs. So when I get ready to make my final decision, yeah, old boy, he was cool, but she could do the same type of stuff. It's not like back in the long days ago where they got to lift up bricks. No, it's machines to be able to operate. So that's it. Women can get in places way more than men easily. That's why black women say they make more money than you.
No, actually, if you want to put it that way, what it is it's women have the ability to make more money because most men are stupid today and they're pookies like you and I are, and they went out and had kids with multiple women, and half of their checks going out in child support. So now they already got half their check already being dipped into, you know.
But that's just the nature of a woman, especially if the man is
That's
doing
the
the
only
hiring.
reason.
And females. Females gonna look out for other females, right? That's boom.
Well, that's not always necessarily true
look
either.
out for females over the men
Oh,
because
all
men
right.
don't want no
Well,
woman,
real
no
quick.
man
So-
fertility.
JP, are you arguing that it makes sense for Angry Snowman to send his wife out to work because she gets easier access to opportunities?
His wife will have way more easier access and can bring in more bread and butter just off the fact, especially if she's a woman of beauty and stuff like that. Men gonna hire her and promote her just off that alone.
So interestingly enough, when and I'm just trying to understand the logic, right? When people debunk the wage gap, right, JP? Generally, the reasons are women work part-time jobs, women get pregnant, and therefore have to get. What? Go ahead, you good?
No, yeah, I'm good. Go. Yeah, I'm
So
good.
the debunking of the wage gap happens when women work part-time jobs, right? So their wages are less. They don't work the same type of jobs as men. They generally go into careers that have a lesser wage, and then when they get pregnant, they have to get out the workforce. Those are the reasons why the wage gap usually gets debunked. Aaron, am I off or am I on point on that?
100% correct.
Well, and
So
Ham,
hold on.
to add-
So hold on. So if that be true, then if his wife is working the jobs that do have the income rate, pay, etc., and if JP is using an analogy of the lions as an example, where the female lions do the majority of the hunting, is he off base? Aaron, I want to ask you that because we just assessing what's being said.
Right. So when it comes to lions hunting, we have to remember something. The female lions are hunting for themselves and for the cubs.
Yeah.
But where you have to look at the grounds that they're hunting on. It's been secured by that big lion under the tree.
Yeah.
There's
Can't
no other
nobody just come around
competition
there.
out there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So he has created so it's essentially a female lion is like a woman cooking food.
right.
Not bringing it home. The fact that she can hunt on this land uncontested means
Because
the food has
he's
already
there.
been secured. She just has to prepare it.
Yeah, that's just a safe trip to the grocery store for her.
Okay. So you're saying that the analogy falls apart in your estimation, Aaron?
But
Absolutely.
here's
Yeah, it does. Even with the chest. Go ahead.
Okay. Go ahead. JP.
Aaron, to your point, women are more trustworthy in society than men.
Yeah, that's what
You
actually.
come off
Wait,
more of a threat.
I've missed that. Say that again.
Women are more trustworthy than men are. You will come off
That's
more
what
of a
it's
threat. So I know plenty jobs, man, where men and women fill out the application, but especially that woman attractive, she gonna blow past them niggas quick.
So
You more of a threat. You a challenge. The only time I would hire you over a woman is if we work in a job where I'm gonna need your physical strength. But most of these jobs, especially you a suit and tie brother, you is not going to be in certain jobs that where it's going to require to use your muscles. Most jobs a lot of men pick, it's going to be jobs that is somewhat laid back. It's like neutral type of job. A woman and the man can do it. And in those positions, I'm going to hire a woman to do that.
all right. So let me dispel a lot of this. First, from the business perspective, right? Especially in upper echelon businesses, women, they are used. Women are leveraged to create or find deals, right? So what happens is you'll go to a function or you'll have a dinner party, and one man's wife will engage with another man's wife. And they will vet each other's husbands by vetting themselves. And they will talk to each other and say, well, my husband's in this, your husband's in that. Well, maybe they should get together, and next thing you know, Now we're at another party where, there's a family cookout or whatever, and we're talking. Next thing you know, we're in the office and we're drafting deals, and then those deals get closed on golf courses, right? So it's different. As a man, you don't want to approach people on business all the time. That's what your wife is there to do. That's why wives are supposed to be good at throwing dinner parties, hosting dinner parties, and things like that. And if you take your wife as a guest to a dinner party, she's supposed to interface with the hostess, and that's where the business deals are born. But they're drafted in the office and they're closed on the golf course. That's exclusively between men. Mm-hmm. Now, when you say as far as women being hired in positions, they're not going for jobs that are paying a lot of money, and a lot of those jobs are jobs that require some sort of physical effort. They're in STEM fields and stuff like that. Women are not predisposed to going after STEM related careers.
That's crap. Like picture a car salesman or anything in sales. Most jobs require sales, right?
That's not STEM. It's a business. But that's not STEM.
I'm not talking about just STEM. Everybody not working in STEM. But the majority of it requires some type of sales, right? I'm going to hire a woman. If I had a car dealership, I'm not hiring no niggas. A beautiful woman come in, niggas gonna buy something out the gate just because he enjoy the conversations with this woman. And a lot of times men gonna, spend, and women gonna buy from another woman regardless, just to support the womanhood. So they got a win-win situation. If I'm a car salesman, but Beyonce selling cars too, Beyonce looking like selling cars too. Nigga, you gonna come right past me and go right over there, and she gonna be able to sell that car to you probably even more than what I'm trying to sell it to you. I'm finna give you a deal, but you ain't gonna pay attention to me. You just want to have a conversation with this woman, and that's why women are used. This society is like legitimate. I will look at United States of America as legitimized pimps. They will utilize women, looks, and beauty. All you got to do is pay attention to all the magazines. Every time they advertise something, they got a woman half naked advertising.
JP, the positions that you're using to defend your point are not high-paying positions, or they're not positions that are substantial or adequate to be able to support a household on that income alone. A car salesman
is.
Well, STEM, number one, and upper echelon business. Science, technology, engineering, and math. So when you mention car salesmen, I'm talking about the engineers that developed the technology that goes into the cars that's being sold. I'm talking about the members of the EPA
But Aaron, what is he trying to achieve? I think the point is, what is he trying to achieve? They just trying to maintain a level of lifestyle, which I don't know if I would subscribe to, but what is the goal?
Even still, though, I don't know that women are automatically going to be seen as more capable of getting into places than men outside of Title IX requirements.
Well, what do you think about this? Because I just want to understand. Like you said, the male line makes it safe. Haven't men literally created laws and built this concrete jungle to where women can do what men can do now?
100%.
But are they doing what men are doing?
Well, but that's not the argument, right? They have that. We built it so we gave them opportunity, not guaranteeing outcomes. Mm-hmm. So if we stay on that construct, I agree. When you said the male lines make it okay, we could argue that the male lines have now made it okay. So now JP will send his woman. I mean, he told stories about sending a woman to make sure the rent got paid. Angry Snowman in the same breath, his woman's okay to go out there because now it's a safe environment for the women to thrive.
Oh, I'm not arguing that women aren't capable or don't have opportunities. 100%. I agree with that totally. My pushback was in that the idea that a man should stay home because a woman is more prone to getting in places in the workforce. That was where I was pushing back on.
When you talk about jobs that you require men like master's degrees, like engineering stuff.
No,
But
not even that.
even if then, if a woman,
Dude,
if
a lot of the
come
STEM
in,
jobs don't require a degree, man. All you got to do is get a little bit of basic training and understanding. There's, there's all kinds of journeyman programs for these, skilled trades and STEM programs where you can go out and
Electricians,
actually learn how to do this stuff and get paid under someone else's even license or
IT certificates. Yeah.
So let me. Okay, so that's an interesting concept.
Because see, look, that's the other thing I want people to understand is, like, with me, I did actually work my ass off before I ended up becoming a stay-at-home dad.
That's what JP said.
No, I mean, I worked my ass off at the same place for quite a few years.
What does that mean?
I kept a steady career. Plus, I had other jobs on the side that I did all the time.
But what you're saying that to say what?
That I don't know. You kind of. She started talking, and then you said something, and you kind of stopped me dead in what I was saying, and it caused my brain to.
I'm just listening to that argument. It's similar to what JP saying. He worked his ass off. Now it's okay for him to let the government be the working wife. Are you making a similar argument to why it's okay for your wife to be out there now?
No, me and my wife had an agreement when we got married, and that part of the agreement is if one of us were to go down, doesn't a good leader, teach the person that comes up, if he's to go down, how they're supposed to fall in line and try and help keep the ship going in the same direction.
Well, you got off easy.
Yeah. What do you mean got off easy? This shit ain't been easy. We struggled like a mug when this first started.
I'm talking about symbolically, right? Symbolically, I didn't have no arms and legs getting out here at 16, 17 years old. Mainly, what I mean symbolically mean assistance, help, right? So I had to get it out the mud at 16 years old. What do you know? Like, come on now. Like, I didn't have that extra leg and that extra arm to help me in situations. You know what happens? No matter how I got the money, I had to have that money. If I didn't get that money, guess where I was at? In the streets. So you had this, you got, your wife is your arm and legs.
And my wife ain't the only person that brings in money either.
Before you got married, you might have had family that was your arms and legs. So whenever you fall or whenever you lose a job or whatever, you probably, I'm just assuming, but I assume that you probably had somebody there to not let you get homeless or be buckling your stomach, buckling to your back, and you out there walking at night, don't have nowhere to go.
No, sir. I started out my adult life living in the back of an Omni. That's a Dodge Omni. It's a car.
Yeah.
I think he's fast forwarding to when we were able to get hurt and your wife was able to step up.
No, well, I took that as he's assuming that I've just always had a safety net behind me through my family throughout my whole life is what you were alluding to, right, Jay Prince?
A lot of people do.
No, sir, I didn't. I started out my adult life, like I said, homeless, living in the backseat of a hatchback.
Okay, if you didn't have your wife, what you'd be doing? If your wife wasn't around.
I didn't have my wife right now. Probably the same thing I was doing before I didn't have my wife, basically womanizing women. Running around being a dumbass pookie, making all kinds of dumbass mistakes, screwing my life up.
No. You still had to take care of yourself. So if you didn't have your wife, because you was talking about your legs and stuff, if you didn't have your wife to cover the bills, go out there and work and cover the bills, who will be covering the bills? Will you be out there working?
Yes.
Or would you be out there?
Yeah, I'd be out there. I'd be out there working myself into the grave.
So you took advantage, right? Right. So this is not. You can no longer blame your back problem no more, your leg problem, because you found the opportunity when your wife came in.
Well, you're assuming that I don't do anything. Hold on. You're assuming that I don't do anything to bring money in, sir.
No, but Chuck, you said if you didn't have no wife when your legs and shit was hurting, you still got to take care of your kids. So you said you'd have been out there working.
No, sir. That's the thing is, if I didn't have my wife when all that happened, I wouldn't have no kids at home with me.
No.
The only reason why, look, the only reason why I'm home is because me and my wife
to take care of them kids no matter what.
He's not understanding what I'm saying here.
I understand clearly what you're saying.
No, you ain't, because you ain't listening.
JP, let him say it. Let him say it.
You're making an assumption about something that isn't a reality, dude. You're assuming that before I had my wife that I still had kids at home that I had to take care of. No, the only reason why I stayed at home is because me and my wife had a son together. Prior to that, my other kids, when I met my wife didn't have no kids, and I had 4 kids, and the other 4 kids lived with their 2 moms. I just got them like every other weekend. That was it. So even though I hurt my back, dude, I was still, all I had to do was pay child support for the most part and see my kids every 2 weeks. They allowed me to do the bare minimum. The bare minimum.
So how were you able to pay your child support?
Because I worked, dude.
Okay, so when you broke your legs, you told
I
us
never
about
broke my legs, dude.
Well,
I
there's
didn't break
something
my
wrong with
legs.
your leg.
I herniated my L4 and my L5 in my spine. That's what happened.
Right. What I'm saying is, after you got that hernia, whatever, right? If you would never had no wife to cover the bills, go out there and work, what you would be doing?
The same thing I was doing for fucking 8 years before I met my wife, because that I herniated my disc almost 8 years before I met her, dude. I worked. I worked until it got so bad that I couldn't.
So this is what I'm saying. You taking advantage. You taking advantage because you just said this. Your wife is your government assistance, because you said if she would have been Chuck. You said if your wife would have been at home with you, you would be out there working.
My wife to government assistance like you're comparing getting welfare because you worked jobs for being in the military for 20 years.
Your wife is your government.
What are you talking about?
No, wait, what, Chuck? You just said
I took care of my wife for several years before I wasn't able to work.
I took care of my government for 22 years.
I literally took care of my wife, sir. Did you take care of your kids as moms?
No.
Did you put a roof over your head?
Chuck, this is the reason why you won't let me finish. Because you know what I'm saying make a lot of fucking sense.
Dude, nothing you've said so far makes sense.
It's not making sense because you ain't being quiet. Let me try to
you know, dude, that's disingenuous because for the first 40 minutes,
me and Aaron are sitting back. We haven't even finished our question. We allow y'all to get through it, but y'all wait. The problem is y'all both not letting each other finish, but I'm gathering it for the most part. JP, go ahead and reply. Miss Val, what's up? Go ahead and reply.
Okay. Chuck, your wife became your government, meaning that I asked you if your wife, after you got your hernia and your wife was not around, what would you be doing? You said the same thing I've been doing for the last 8 years. Working. You've been working a job. So since she's there, you taking advantage of her being there and allowing her to go out there and work, and you come up with all these excuses just to be at home with the kids. So you basically receiving government assistance in the same way, because your wife is taking on the responsibilities of the man. What you already know that you can still work, but you're not gonna work because she able-bodied. So you gonna let her go out there and bust her back, and you sit at home with the kids. Whenever you get tired of working, until you get tired of being at home. Because you just said, I'm going to reiterate it and then I'm going to let you go. You just said, if you didn't have that wife right now, you will be working right now. But since she's there, you decide, not by force, you chose to sit at home with the kids. Because you weren't paralyzed.
Yeah, you're right. I conceded that I did choose with me and my wife having a discussion to stay at home dad rather than do that. And not to mention too, with both of us working, we were paying an astronomical amount of money in childcare, for both of us just to be able to work. You know what I'm saying? That don't have
nothing to do with nothing.
It has a lot to do with, and now with me staying home, dude, we haven't had to pay for a daycare or a babysitter for 9 years.
Because your wife is handling the business.
She was at home with the boy for the first 2 years, and now I'm the one at home with the boy. So we've never had
22 years. Now I'm at home. Well, what's the difference? We the same.
So
we're both taking advantage of assistance. Your wife giving you an assistance, and the government giving me assistance. So
if I may.
Go ahead, Aaron.
So Jay Prince, I understand what you're saying. I see exactly the correlation that you're making. However, there's some differences. As he spoke about before, the decision for him to pull out of the workforce was made out of a conversation he had with his wife. The decision you made to pull out of the workforce was made with a
because I had to be
conversation
at
between
home
you and the
3 years
government?
by myself.
Or did you? No. Listen, slow down. Did you have a conversation with the government to make that decision, or did you make that decision independent of the government's input?
No. The thing is, when my other child's mama brought me the other child this year, well, I got her for summer break right last May, and her mom never came back. She had a new baby with a new man. She started a whole new life. So at that point, that was another bill after having 2 kids, right? Because my other 2 kids kind of got dumped on me.
I think you're missing the question.
I think
The
he's
decision for you to pull out of the workforce, was that decision made out of a conversation that you had with the government?
No, I didn't
Right.
pull out the workforce. I'm still working.
Oh shit.
I'm still working. You can still work. You can still earn up to $4,000 a month and still receive benefits.
you ain't going. You can't make $4,000 a month and get benefits. That's crazy.
Oh my god,
dude! $4,000 a month. $4,000 a month is like a little over $50.
You said you wanted to fall back and take a break and use some of the money that you paid into over the last 22 years. So you're still working and contributing. You're paying, tax paying a full-time employee.
Yeah, see, I'm not receiving no checks. What they doing is like, okay, they giving me a place to the point where I don't have the money that I make, I don't have to worry about paying rent, expensive rent, $800, $1,200 on rent.
Let's
so they
go with
finna
that.
give me, right. So what I was thinking about doing, right, $4,000, that's a lot of money, right? So for this year, I was thinking about, getting this welfare house. Rent ain't number $25. I ain't finna tell you all the school because that could get me, penalized. But
So,
I don't need to get.
So has your workload decreased since you've gained these benefits? Are you working less? Are you working less than you normally would because the cost of living for you has gone down?
Well, I haven't got the house yet, so I'm still active.
Are you receiving some sort of subsidies, government benefits of any kind?
Food share, they're gonna give me that in healthcare for the. You can't have custody of your children without being on some type with a Medicaid because they got to take shots. They got to be able to go to the doctor. So before they even give you your custody of your kids, primary custody of your kids, you must have some type of health benefits, and they give you a criteria of what you can prove for. So if you make it 4,200 and under, you can prove for Medicaid.
So so other than Medicaid, you're not getting any government benefits or government subsidies at the moment.
That and food stamps.
All right. So if you didn't have those things, would your workload increase to compensate for them? Would you have to find a way to fund medical insurance and your diet?
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Now, since you've decreased your workload, was that a conversation you had with the government before decreasing your workload?
No.
Okay. It was a conversation that Angry Snowman had with his wife before he pulled out of the workforce. Now, the next point I want to make is
it don't mean nothing though.
It means it's a difference. What you're saying is that you and he are alike because he decided to pull out of the workforce. And what I'm doing is highlighting differences in what he's doing and what you're doing. The second difference I'd like to highlight is he is still serving a benefit to his wife. His wife, all she has to really do is worry about secure resources, but her home is taken care of, her children are taken care of. There's an element of wisdom and leadership in the home that she can rely on. And there's a level of protection in the home that she can rely on that is his responsibility. Those are benefits that are going to her that I don't think you are giving to the government. Are you telling me that you're supplying the government with some sort of protection, with some sort of household management, or with some sort of provision of wisdom and structure?
I would say yes. I would say yes. You know why? Because if I don't give my children that, they will take my kids.
No, I'm talking about directly to the government. The government is who is subsidizing your life so that you don't have to increase your workload. I'm saying in return, are you giving these things back to the government like Chuck is giving back to his wife? In return, we're subsidizing his life so that he doesn't have to work.
Yes, they give you this to give them something back in return, right? The reason why the government, yes, the reason why the government give you this type of uh, assistance is so you can give your children the life that they basically need, a roof. So you is kind of giving them something in return. I'm making sure my kids safe, fed, got health benefits, taking them to the doctors and stuff. That's the reason why they give you that, so you can make sure your kids got health benefits, got food stamps to eat, and a house to live in. So yes, I am giving them that in return.
I'm talking about a direct benefit the government had, not vicariously through your children.
Well. So interestingly enough, see, this is why when we say everything that we say always matters all the time, right? What is the stat about single fathers and raising children?
About the success of the children?
Yes.
The belief is that a father raising a child alone, the child will be more successful than a mother raising a child alone. That's a stat that we say that the results for single father-led households is comparable to dual parent households. Dual parent, right?
Mm-hmm. Right. So okay, they may try to eliminate JP for a plethora of reasons, right?
Right.
But when you're thinking about this shit, it's just like his kids will be less susceptible to what? Crime.
Sure.
So what if he likens him being present to the government not have to deal with them later?
Because that's an unknown. What I'm saying is what Angry Snowman is doing is keeping the checkbook balanced on a daily basis.
Mm-hmm.
No, he receiving assistance.
What you're saying makes sense, Ham, but it's also based on taking a look at probability, which is in favor of him, doing exactly what you're saying. But in Angry Snowman's case, the benefit is directly paid daily.
Well,
it is a 100% guarantee.
Well, Aaron, can I ask you a question? As a man, right? Can I ask you a question? As a man, right? Let's just put it off on you. If you had a wife, because most men, they take pride in going out there bringing in the bread and the butter, right? If you had a wife and you had an opportunity to bring in the bread and the butter, would you go out there go out there and make the bread and butter, or would you send your wife go out there to do it?
I'm not sure. I mean, if I have the opportunity to make money, I'm going to go make money.
So where Chuck is saying that if she wasn't around, he would be going out there making the bread and the butter. But now she around, he finna play handicap.
No, if there was something that were really detrimental to my health and my wife had the earning potential to hold us down, and if it were feasible for me to stay home so that it's less of a detriment to my wife, so I can last in this earth longer for her and my children, but I'm still able to bring value to the household from the home front. Let's say I came back from combat, kind of fucked up. Like if as a man, it's either homeless or you got to work until you die. But if I have a wife who's, let's say, an attorney, and she's making good money, and we make a decision where it's like, listen, you if it weren't for this injury, you could be out there doing, getting bread and butter, as you say. But it's more important to me that we can, extend your longevity in my life as your spouse and in the lives of your children.
But that's not his situation.
You see what I mean?
His situation,
no, he's got a herniated disc.
He took up a call center job and still been at home, had to be on his legs. It's a lot of jobs that he could have chose to pick where he didn't have to stand up 8 to 12 hours.
But is he qualified?
He drives around already on a daily basis, been at home, right? That could have been a
A
trucking
truck
job.
driver with a
Driving
herniated
job.
disc?
Huh?
Not with a herniated disc, man. Not with a herniated disc. I think you don't know what a herniated disc does. Like it can lock your. There's been times where you would take 10 minutes to crawl to the bathroom at night just to take a leak.
So Aaron, the basic argument is that, the basic argument is that what the reasons for staying home are not the same. His wife has a instant benefit each and every day with Angry
Yeah,
Snowman being home. We could
that's it.
argue that there's no benefit to the government by sending money to JP.
As of yet, right.
Okay.
In the future, there may be, but as of yet, there's no proven benefit.
Okay.
Please.
Okay. Now, one thing I wanted to ask, and then I'll drop the link, is when JP said it gives him sorry, JP, to clarify, you said it makes you feel more effeminate, or it puts you in an effeminate category staying at home?
Yeah, just being at home with kids, raising kids is known to be a woman's thing. But I will argue that the only reason why women was able to raise the kids because the men had to go out there and work and stuff. It's not that they didn't want to raise their kids, but at least I have direct contact on how I want my kids to be raised. So it could be a benefit by me being at home because now I get to monitor how they've been raised because I can have a wife and I be at work and my kids is doing whatever they want to do because she don't have that presence like I do. So by me being at home, I get to monitor what they doing.
Hey JP, are you having a Freudian slip?
What's a Freudian slip?
When you're thinking one thing, you're trying
another.
to say one thing, but you say something else. You said monetize twice.
I meant monitor.
No, I know you corrected it, but you said monetize twice. Is there so there's a correlation? Is there something in your brain saying the kids are being monetized?
Yeah, they been monitored. I'm trying to talk smart because I got on the suit.
I respect it. I respect it.
Seem like I don't know how to speak.
No. Because remember the like you said, the kids are funding a level of the lifestyle. You having them, helps gives you access to these programs. So when you said monetize, I just kind of made the correlation to when we were talking about that earlier. But so now you're just saying that you instill the discipline that men tout so much because you're with them all the time, but you still feel like you're in an effeminate role.
Yeah, it does feel feminine because the looks of raising kids is been known for women to be at home raising kids, and the stigma behind it. We never really seen men being at home raising the kids. That's not looked at like a man's type of job to do.
Okay. Pretty straightforward. Snowman, do you agree with that sentiment?
What's that? What sentiment?
That being at the home with the kids is much more of a feminine role.
It's got a feminine stigma behind it, I would assume. I mean, it's generally considered to be a female role, yes. To be a stay-at-home individual. I'm not even going to try and allude that it isn't.
Yeah, and you've come to terms with it, like you've accepted it.
Well, yeah, I can do it without being a female.
Yeah,
I don't have to be a female to sit at home and do a role that's generally what is considered to be a female job. You know what I'm saying? I can still do it in a masculine form. I'm still capable of being the same father I need to be being at home as I would be if I was at work all the time. My daughters still get the same kind of fathering from me as they would if I was at work. You know what I'm saying? I still, all I got to do is give them that look, turn and look,
Okay.
Same thing.
But what they say about
My daughter's is, my 4-year-old, she's still a daddy's girl. She wants to do nothing but please dad. Same thing she would want to do if I was at work.
Okay.
When they had to tell a story, they'd be like, well, my dad, he was a stay-at-home dad. My mom worked.
Yeah, wasn't. Dad stayed at home and he made sure that the bills were paid, that the budget was kept intact, that we never got eviction notices, or
How
the
did you
lights
make sure the
got
bills
turned
was
off,
paid?
or the gas never got turned off.
No. How did you make sure the bills was paid? She went out there and bust her ass like as a man would.
Because
Not
I'm the
you.
one. I'm telling you how. Because I'm the one who has actually been budgeting and managing the finances in our house. The
Well,
same
that
as I
means
would if I was. I'm the one.
when men bring home the bread and butter, the woman is supposed to balance the checkbooks, right? The man's supposed to go out there and bring home the bread and the butter. And the woman's supposed to balance the checkbook.
Dude,
So
what are you talking about? You're sitting up here talking about how you're getting government benefits. So why are you sitting up here trying to say anything about what I'm doing?
But that's her money.
Government ain't no, that is our money. That is our money because since the day, I sat here and listened to you talk for a minute. Will you shut the fuck up?
If I'm the one going out there busting my ass.
So
she
let him answer. Let him answer, JP. Let him answer. Go ahead.
You done acting like a clown? Thank you. Look, I'm the dude. I even lost my train of thought. Will you repreface what I was saying?
Yeah, what you were saying that it's you guys' money because you said that
thank you.
You make sure everything's paid, but he's like, how he's bringing
from the very beginning of me and my wife's relationship. It's never been yours or mine. When we decided that we were going to get engaged and eventually get married and build a life together, everything has been ours. We have taken everything and put it collectively in the pot together because we both started out with absolutely nothing and built everything we have together. See, I understand that you seem to think that the only way a person. No, I'm not done, JP. Shut up and listen to what I'm saying.
Okay.
All right. I sat here and listened to you talk for a minute. Me and my wife, I understand that you think that the only way a man brings any or puts anything in or does any work or has anything, productive involved in a family is if he's going out and making the money, which I find is absolutely just astoundingly bizarre, being that right now you have sat right up here on this panel and said that you have put in work to earn to be on government assistance right now. I find that astounding because you're not going out and working for the shit. You're actually having the government. You're actually having other people's baby mamas and baby daddies pay for your kids and you. To be quite honest,
I'm just getting my refund. This is a refund. What I'm saying.
But see, the thing is I dug me and my wife out of debt. When my wife was trying to run the finances and I was working, she was always missing bills. She got us behind in debt. She couldn't get things on track, and it stressed the fuck out of her. Some people can't do that shit. The truth of the matter is I am fortunate. I'll give you that. I am very fortunate. I'm very lucky that I have a wife that I can work with. I wish that you would have had the same thing, because then maybe you would be in a different position right now. I will give you that, because that's exactly what happens is we work together on everything that we do, which I'm sure Hamp could say that's what you and your wife do, right? That's why your marriage is successful. You guys work together, correct? You lead, but you guys still work together.
Yeah, but Chuck, this is what I'm saying before Hamp move on. What I'm saying is, let's just say one day she get tired. You know how us fellas get, right? So if your wife want to come home, crack up of a beer, and by the way, you gotta take the bass out your voice. She's the one.
I can't take bass out of my voice. This is who I am
right now.
This is how I am.
Wait. But Chuck, she's the one got to, put the bass in her voice. She's the one going out there.
Wrong. She realizes. No, see, because look, no, Jay Prince, you're not going to sit and try and label me and my wife a way that we don't even label ourselves. That's where you're not going to go there, because look, if my wife was here, she'd even come up here on the panel and tell you through her own voice that she ain't the one with the bass. She ain't the one that's running it. I'm the reason why this shit's successful, because I make all the right decisions with the resources that are provided to us.
Her resources.
I make the right decisions.
Those are her resources.
And not only that, who do you think taught her how to go out and negotiate to get to where she is in the corporate arena? She didn't know how to do that shit.
At the end of the day,
I had to teach her how to go out and negotiate.
We talk about now. She's the man of the house. She's wearing the pants. She's out there getting her knuckles and hands dirty while you at home with your fingernails clean.
Dude, you know what? I think it's kind of sad that you think the only thing that makes a man masculine is bringing home money. It's sad that the only thing that makes a man masculine is bringing home money.
Wait, don't talk like that from your baby. Your baby right there.
You're there.
Hold on, he's okay. It's okay.
I'm not saying anything outrageous, and she can't hear anything that you're
I don't
saying.
want to talk like this around your kids. I'm not.
Well, JP, let him finish your last thought, and I got a question kind of similar to it. You want to finish? All right.
Like I said, I just think it's absolutely absurd and insane that this guy thinks that the only thing masculine that a man can do that is a benefit and a value to a home, a family, and your children is to go out and make money. Dude, there's so much more involved in running a family and a household than going out and making money that it makes sense why you failed so far at that part of it.
Okay, one question. Where your wife at now? I see you at home with the kids.
She's at work. She is at work, sir.
Exactly. You at work sitting on your pom-poms, sitting on the channel eating pom-poms.
No, dude, I'm not sitting on my ass. My kids also know how to take care of themselves to a certain degree. But why do you think I left, dude? Because my daughter got up. She's 6 months old. I had to go wake her up, change her diaper, give her a bottle, let her go out there and start, engaging with the other kids.
So wait. So we're gonna be on this show for at least about 6 hours.
No, I ain't got 6 hours to do that.
So you most times you be on the show for hours, 8-10 hours, while your wife is at work, while you sitting on your ass for 6 to 8 hours, been on a talk show. So all this time, all these hours that you talking about, you've been taking care of kids. No, you've been on the show.
Hey, dude, how many times have you seen my kids walk into the scene because I'm taking care of my kids? Where's yours at?
We both been on our ass. We some welfare bitches. I don't want to admit it. You just don't want to admit it. This is the first time I seen you stood up.
See, that's the thing is I'm not on welfare. See, I grew up on that shit, and I didn't want to grow up on it. I'm better than that. I'm better than that, dude. I don't get welfare. The government don't help me and my wife with nothing. Everything we do.
Your wife is your welfare.
See, the thing is you keep forgetting. You think she's the only one that brings home money, dude. I bring home money, too.
How?
He is just the breadwinner, you moron.
How do you bring home money?
How do I bring home money? What do you mean? Because I'm a
disability check.
I am one of them Facebook Marketplace wheeler dealers. Been doing that shit for 10 years, dude. I've learned how to make money off of going and getting shit and selling shit, trading shit, swapping shit. That's what I am. That's what I do.
So if you really disabled, why you didn't go out there and try to get a disability check? To make it easy on your wife.
Disability check, dude. I have tried. You know how hard it is to get disability?
The same benefits that I'm getting. You just think you weren't able to get it. Come on, man. You can't talk about me.
You know how hard it is to get disability?
Right. So if you was a real man, why would you try?
If I was a real man. What makes me not a real man? What makes me not a real man, dude?
I'm not a real man.
I haven't called you not a real man, and it's dude.
I get government assistance, but you went out there and applied.
JP, I have not sat here and fucking called you not a real man, and you self-admittedly have the government taking care of you and your fucking kids.
Hey,
the government doesn't take care of me and my kids.
You trying to get the same government to take care of you? They just said, "No, nigga, you still able."
Dude? If I get disability, that's the SSI. That's an entitlement. I earned that. You know, I had all of my SSI tax credits in by the time I was 33 years old, sir. I worked all the hours I needed to get my fucking 40 credits to be able to draw Social Security.
I did the same thing.
I don't believe you because you didn't even know what 40 credits were until I just said something, JP. You don't even know what I'm talking about.
Well, stop raising your voice. Your woman is the man of the house. Who she buy your cigarettes? She pay for your internet.
Hey, dude, you know what? You can sit there and make assumptions, but you sit and actively admit that you're the woman of the house. You did it earlier, right when you came on the stream, that you are a single baby mama. That's what you said out of your mouth.
But even I'm willing to admit it. It's you the one that's in denial.
That's because I understand that I don't have to operate in a female frame to raise my kids. You're operating in a female frame. I don't have to. What are you talking about?
If you don't have to, why you ain't doing it?
Hemp, this is crazy, dude. This is crazy.
I'm trying to see if you guys are gonna work through it. Aaron would say something. He just
I don't think there's a way to work through this with him.
No, Chuck,
but he really don't. Hold on. All right, hold on, JP. I thought you guys were gonna work through it, but I'm not so sure.
This is wild.
Aaron made the differentiation. The argument is you could work. You're making a choice not to work for the betterment of the family. He made an argument that you tried to get the same assistance that he's getting, but you were denied. You're saying that you've earned that assistance. He made the same argument earlier, but you can prove yours. I don't know if he can prove his.
Well, first off, I never tried to get assistance. I'm trying to get social. All I applied for was Social Security disability. That's something I paid into for the last however many years I worked to get the 40 working credits in order to be able to apply and garner Social Security. That's an entitlement. That's something I paid for. That came out of my check every week. That's something I paid for.
I just said the same thing.
Yeah.
You know what? You did say the same thing, but you also said that you're getting Section 8. You're also getting food stamps. You're also getting all these other government subsidies and benefits that are paying for you. Not to mention, you said that you can make $4,200 a month and get welfare, and all you have to do is look, and it says that the real truth of the matter. This is in Wisconsin, dude. For a 3-person household in fiscal year 2022. That a person has to make 130% of the poverty line, which translates to approximately $2,379 per month. That $4,250 you were talking about, that's total assets you're allowed to have. Total. And assets are totally different from your monthly income.
I will be out here working. If I had a woman,
you're making over $4,000 a month right now. You're defrauding the federal government to get assistance.
How? They check all your. But or what I'm saying is, if I had a woman. And I'm able-bodied. You just said you don't have to be at home, so you taking advantage of you. You know, different from me taking advantage of the government. You just stated multiple times that you can be working and you can work. And you said if she wasn't around,
government benefits. I'm not giving you government benefits. You know what? You're right. I probably could work.
All right. You guys worked through it a little bit. I think the points were made. I wonder where people side. Seemingly. I think it may be time to drop the link. What is happening is, although it may be disingenuous, depending on what side people sit, Jay Prince is likening you having an opportunity to do or not do and being able to leverage your wife to do what she does. He's likening that to him taking advantage of the government.
Of being married, though.
But no, I'm just telling you what the argument is. You've also stated that when shit hits the fan, you need to help each other and be there for each other, and that's the privilege of a marriage.
Correct. I'm actually married to a private individual. He's married himself to the government.
And also that private individual, if you go to the mall, you go pick up something, she could tell you, no, put that shit down.
Oh shit. She
got no money for that.
Like, share, subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend. Hit that like button right now if you can. That helps the channel the most. Savage with the $10 Cash App said, question, did welfare fly a woman out? He knows what the father says. I may not agree with JP on everything, but he has his kids and is trying more than most you niggas. Honestly, a lot of you talk a good one. Sydney with the $5 says, it takes structure and discipline to maintain a home and children. That's why single fathers have better results, Jay Prince. Masculinity prevails. Vet Life with the $5 says, that's a horrible example. Men create the space to begin with, i.e. creating businesses that keep the country working. Ellipsis. Come on, fam. You do better. Savage with the $10 Cash App says, you're on welfare. I'm your man, Miss Hot Dog. Nas been a number for 3 months. Salute, my brother. John the Baptist with the $5 says, JP, stop talking. Stop talking. You have a lot of good points, but you lose the concept with your details. Mr. Lee said, what's poppin'? For 3 months says, what's poppin', Hant? What up? The drizzle going on in here? Salute to the channel and the chat. Salute, my brother. Uncle Tom with the $2 says, JP, most car salesmen are men. Stop it. John the Baptist with the $5 says, 2 great men, 2 different paths. Savage with the $10 Cash App said, says, JP needs to look at his feet when passing by men. End quote. Judah with the $5 says, JP, you definitely need a life coach to help you get things in order for you and the well-being of those girls. The proper guidance is paramount. Valerie, she said, happy I caught this live. Salute and appreciate you.
And when I'm feeling broke, E and J by my side, Henny like $40. This shit like $25.
Perfect. Salute. Black King with the $5 says, Angry Snowman, did you retain yourself into a new career field while your wife is working, or retrain yourself into a new career field while your wife is working? If he heard it, he can come back. If not, we can ask him. John the Babs with the $2 says, great convo for real. You want to answer this?
Well, I don't understand what he means by retrain myself into a new career field.
Since you've been home, did you like take up any classes or get a certification anywhere else?
No, man, I've just always been one of those guys that's able to wheel and deal, man. I got like one of it's basically like I have my own little like flea market because I wheel and deal, get stuff, I fix things, like for instance, I picked up a 12-inch bandsaw. You know what I'm saying? One of the big stand-up bandsaws. Got it for $15 because the dude said it wouldn't turn on. All right, and he couldn't figure out how. I went home, a mouse had chewed through the main wire on it from the switch. All I had to do was rewire it back up, turn around and sold it for $500.
Swai with the $5 says, yo, Prince said monetize the children. Damn, Prince, damn. I pray you meant monitor. Lord have mercy. Yeah, that's what he meant. YK, yeah. JP is implying that, what's popping? My brother with the 20 ball says, JP is implying that Angry Snowman is a bum like JP. He is comparing a structured marriage to chaos because he doesn't value marriage. It's disrespectful to downplay his health issues to make yourself feel better about your life. Brother. Savage with the $10 cash app said, tell this baby mom to stop saying what men do. GBG General with the 2000 link for the founder. Yeah, I'm gonna drop the link soon. EBD with the $2 says, look like we have a cultural differences in poverty. YKS with this $5 says, we're attempting to explain how marriage works to someone coming from a long line of single mothers. Fatty with the €2 says, JJ doesn't change his kid. JP doesn't change his kids' diapers. Snowman wins. John the Baptist with the $2 says, JP, there is no need for this line of conversation. Valerie, stick to the facts, JP, instead of the insult.
Shit like that.
Valerie been a member for 2 months. She said, as soon as points start being made, JP starts with the insults, and I like JP. Hank was popping with the $5 says, JP, the last time you were up here, you were talking about. Damn, come on, man.
This dude, right. He's something else.
Man, walk the talk with the $2 says, JP kids are the breadwinners of his home. Like, share, subscribe, tell a friend and tell a friend. Hit that like button right now if you can. That helps the channel the most. I'm going to drop the link. Aaron, what do you think? Should I turn the timeouts on or give it time?